All right, man, let's talk about Netflix. For the most part, they have bought Warner Brothers. I didn't really know what it mean when I first seen it. They didn't even know Warner Brothers was up for sale. I believe did HBO. I think AT&T might own Warner Brothers. So if that's the case, which we're gonna pull it up as article, if that's the case, okay, shit. Maybe they were selling Warner Brothers. So remember the Warner Brother Frog and all the other stuff. We was well when I was growing up. I don't know what kind of group y'all was in, but so it just says that. So okay, I'm gonna pull from this version of Deadline. So give me 5 seconds. So Netflix isn't buying all of Warner Brothers Discovery. So Gunnar Weedfest, I don't know if else will get to run his cable network empire after all. So let's hide this. So Netflix Warner Bros. Discovery said earlier, and that Discovery app, I just never got the point of getting it, said that the latter's global network division will be separated into a new publicly traded company, which is expected to be complete in Q3 of 2026. It will include the cable networks such as CNN, Discovery Channel, TNT, HGTV, Animal Planet, Food Network, Investigation Discovery, TLC, True TV, Turner Classic Movies, Cartoon Network, which I thought they was on a hiatus or something like that, and Warner Bros. So, yeah, this is very interesting, right? So, so I think that's going to be a separate entity. So they're not buying that. So it said the division will be separated into a new publicly traded. So this is all going to be its own division. So it's cable network. It's going to be its own. I don't know if they still going to call it Warner Brothers. So there you have it. While the vast majority of the focus around Hollywood will be on Netflix owning HBO, which HBO Max and all that. So I think HBO Max could be wrong. DC Studios, as far as compete with Marvel and Disney and Marvel. Harry Potter, and one of the most cherished movie libraries, which one exec called it the futuristic sci-fi movies where one place delivers all entertainment. The deal will also essentially recreate Discovery's communication with a few more network, Discovery Plus, if you will. So it's all this is going to be absorbed into Netflix. Then your shit going to be like $50 a month. That's the crazy thing about it. The company still operates some of the biggest networks around. TLC, HGTV, Discovery, Food Networks are top 15 networks, excluding news channels. But while many of these networks have had their programming budget cuts over the last few years, as the focus has been on streaming, but they still make a lot of television shows. Discovery Channel has a franchise such as Naked and Afraid, which could well describe the state of the new business, Gold Rush and Deadliest Catch, which I've watched a little bit of both. HGTV has hits like The Flip Off. TBS has the Impractical Jokers franchise. TLC has the 90 Day Fiance franchise and reality series with Alec Baldwin and his family and his wife that Gorilla checked his ass in front of everybody. I remember talking about that. Investigation Discovery has been pulling up trees in true crime with the likes of Quiet on the Set, The Curious Case of Natalie Grace, and The Fall of Diddy. No Diddy. The new group will also likely include Chip and Jonah Gaines, two of the favorite talents. Magnolia and Allison Page run network. The Fixer Upper pair created. I've seen that one. Previous sat under the purview of HBO boss Casey Bloys, but it was recently moved to under Discovery Global. There have been questions around the ownership of IP, however, with the split, many which haven't been answered. These include major networks around sports rights, particularly in the Olympics and Europe, which will have to be answered. In the Wildfells and Campbells are understood to have quarrels about these in the past, while there will undoubtedly be a change of control clause in its deal with the International Olympics Committee, IOC. Quote, the idea of Netflix having the Olympics is pretty effing crazy, one source told Deadline, so they can get the Olympics. CNN is also a whole other topic that will likely be discussed ad nauseum, particularly in Washington. Thousands of employees who will work on the Discovery side of the business are now waiting to hear about its plans, which may now look remarkably similar to those of Versant, the collection of the cable networks that Comcast own, NBC Universal is spinning off. It seems like we're going to be wading through the mud for the next 18 months, concluded one staffer. So right now, apparently the cable networks is just going. I don't know if they still gonna have the Warner Bros. Name, which they won't. I don't think they will. So this is pretty crazy. So is all this going on Netflix? Well, outside of the cable network stuff. What do they do with HBO Max then? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a great question. What do they do with HBO Max? Do they just do Netflix allow them just to operate the way they're operating? Do Netflix absorb them into the Netflix app and they cancel HBO Max? This is a great question. This is a great question. I have questions. The Olympics on Netflix, so streaming is definitely, taking over one city at a time. So this is crazy. This is crazy. So this is another Deadspin article they got. So it said, and just like that, Netflix, Warner Bros. Taking over will reshape the business in the streaming wars and likely bring another culture clash. So at the Netflix Holiday Awards season kickoff party Tuesday night, one topic strictly off limit: the ongoing bidding for Warner Bros. Discovery, in which Netflix was competing against Paramount, Skydance, and Comcast. So Paramount tried to get it. Unlike Paramount, Skydance CEO David Ellison, who pulled out from his Wednesday appearance at the NYT's Deal Book Summit, Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos showed up at the streamers off the record event, mingling for hours and taking pictures with talent, including Jacob Elordi, Ted Danson, Rena Johnson, and Mike Schur. But if a report broached the Warner Brothers Discovery WBD sale in any way, even as a joke, Sarandos would walk away. Netflix boss clearly was not going to do anything that might jeopardize his company chances in a high-stake auction. 48 hours later, Netflix walked away as the winner, sealing an $82.7 billion deal with Warner Brothers Discovery for its Warner Bros. Film and television studio, as well as HBO and HBO Max. This is a stunning development that comes exactly 15 years after infamous comments by former HBO topper, no Diddy, and CEO parent Time Warner, Jeff Bezos, whatever, who in December 2010 dismissed Netflix as an Albanian army and a fad that would fade away. Hey, you gotta eat them words. Where the fuck is Jeff at now? Hold on, let's see what Jeff Winkles at. He Rocky Winkles. He's 73 years old. You can't listen to some old fart that said, like, yeah, he old as hell. Like, of course. That's one thing I want to just continue to evolve with the times. I don't want to be stuck in the past. But it's been doing just that for 15 years, from changing viewing habits to changing TV shows and business models, spelling the end of a lucrative, talented back-end deal to establish a new industry standard, and that's now followed by almost everyone. Netflix also was the first to embrace a global footprint while betting on local language content, another revolutionary at the time concept that now is a basic rule for streaming success. And now Netflix is poised to take control of one of the most valuable film and TV library with access to iconic IP from DC, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, The Bachelor, Big Bang Theory, and also Friends, which is not funny, which had done very well on Netflix until WBD moved it to HBO Max. The deal comes with some fine print. Through the deal, Netflix will also find itself in the challenging broadcast business via Warner Brothers TV slate that includes shows such as ABC's Abbott Elementary, CBS's Georgie and Mandy First Marriage, NBC's Brilliant Minds, which I watched none of that. In the low margin of daytime syndication business, WBTV's Jennifer Hudson Show, who cares, and also inherit a daily entertainment news magazine, The Extra. So yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with all these shows. They're gonna absorb them or what? But game over. Warner Brothers accusation. Netflix will effectively win the streaming wars by owning the number 1 and 3 SVOD platforms to challenge YouTube's ascent, which YouTube is like killing in Hollywood right now. It would also likely, but it's free. and for the most part, well, and they got a lot of free movies on there too. Likely win Emmy race as the two long time main rivals, Netflix and HBO Max, would combine forces for practically a guaranteed landslide victory. Additionally, the transactions may bring closer Netflix first best picture Oscar win. So they don't really fuck with Netflix movies to get them Oscars. You got to be at the movie theater, and some of the ones like Dolomite My Name did, they still want to give it to them. But for the most part, you catch the vibes. You catch the vibes. What's going on? So this is huge. So yeah, this is crazy, man. Game of Thrones and Stranger Things crossover. It's gonna be lit. I'm joking. But I hit the link in the description. Check out the current news playlist. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, the whole nine. I appreciate y'all for supporting the channel. One time for the one time, Goodfella TV. Peace. Oh yeah. Other than that, man, remember some of those TV channels they didn't acquire. They're gonna form their own new publicly traded. So I wonder what they want to gonna call it. So peace.